What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review driven by AAA. I'm your host, Fran Duffy. Eagles come away with a huge win at home, Monday Night Football, prime time, under the lights against the division rival New York Giants. They come away in overtime with this W and one of the biggest players in this game. How about Zach Ertz? 9 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. We're going to get to those 2 touchdowns later in the segment. Let's start off first. He had 2 big catches here in the first half. I know it only led to a field goal. The only points in the first half for this offense. A little bit of an ugly start to this game on both sides of the football for the Eagles. But big catches here from Zach Ertz. Let's take a look here at the first one. 1 running back, 3 tight ends. Here's your running back, Boston Scott. Here are your 3 tight ends here in Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, and Josh Perkins. And this is a route concept we have seen time and time again from the Eagles. It's a great way to get an isolation route for Zach Ertz to win one-on-one, whether it's against a corner, a linebacker, a safety. It does not matter. He has always shown the ability to win off this concept. It's very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to take the inside receiver. In this case, it's Dallas Goedert. You're going to run him towards the middle of the field. You're going to take the outside receiver. In this case, that is Josh Perkins. You're going to run him towards the flag. You're going to just send him towards the sideline. All that does is it just kind of parts the waves of the Red Sea, and you're going to create this huge void now where it's one-on-one. Zach Ertz, he's going to try and win on a little bit of a double move where he's going to fake like he's going towards the sideline and then just win on a quick slant route inside towards the middle of the field. Let's let this play out, and you're going to see exactly how the seas part. Again, you're going to see this route here. There's a defender gone. There's another defender gone. All of a sudden, when you're in the red zone and everything gets tighter, more crowded, a lot more traffic in there, look at all this space that this concept creates. You've got Zach Ertz lined up one-on-one. He's going to cross the defender's face, and Carson Wentz shows the ability. You're going to let this run here. Shows the faith there to know that Zach Ertz is going to win. He does exactly that. Eagles tied the game at 17 late in the fourth quarter. So after the 24-yard gain to Zach Ertz on the scramble drill, very next snap, what do we get? A 30-yard completion to the veteran tight end. This one inside the structure of the play. And this is a really well-designed 3-level stretch. It's been one of the staples of Doug Peterson's offense going back to when he first arrived here in Philadelphia. And a 3-level stretch is exactly what it sounds like. You are attacking the defense at all 3 levels. So you've got 1 receiver short, you've got 1 receiver in the intermediate area, and you've got at least 1 receiver deep. So all 3 levels of the field all being attacked. The third part of the field is going to be attacked by these 2 deep post routes. So you've got a double post combination from those 2 receivers on the field in Greg Ward and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The short part of the field, off play action, is going to be Miles Sanders just going into the flat. He's going to just kind of serve as flat control and a check down for Carson Wentz. The intermediate area here is going to be attacked by Zach Ertz. So Zach Ertz is going to be brought in motion here from right to left, and at the snap of the ball, he's going to look like he's running an over route, but he's actually going to bend this back right into the intermediate area, and you're going to see that he's wide open off play action. And let's let this roll, and you're going to see exactly how it happens. This is a route we see Zach Ertz run it a handful of times a game. They usually hit on him at least once every single time they take the field. And you're going to see when Carson hits the top of his drop right here, it's going to be a well-defined picture because, again, you've got those 2 deep post routes. They're going to lift the coverage. So these 2 defensive backs for the Giants, they're going to be removed from the action. That's going to create a huge void here in the middle of the field. And Zach Ertz has already started his break. He acts like he's running across, and now he's going to break it back. So this defender, he has no idea that Zach Ertz, he thinks he's passed him off. He has no idea that he's about to run behind him. So off play action, they kept Dallas Goedert in as an extra protector just to give Carson Wentz another beat, and we'll let this run. And you can see Carson's just going to deliver this to a wide open Zach Ertz. Nobody within at least 10 yards of him as he makes the catch. Was able to get upfield for a few more. Eagles get first and goal. They turn it into a field goal, make the score 7-3 early in the second quarter. All right, well, like I said, it was a little bit ugly there for a little bit in this game offensively, but they were able to bounce back. And we're going to take a look here. 3rd and 5 in the third quarter, a play to Boston Scott because Miles Sanders gets hurt. He leaves this game for a chunk of time. So Miles Sanders steps in, and he gives the team a little bit of a spark. And we're going to see here on this 3rd down play, the Eagles come out in an empty set. So nobody in the backfield with Carson Wentz. They're going to spread the defense out and make them have to communicate here because before the snap, Carson Wentz is going to bring Boston Scott in orbit motion on a little bubble screen to the right side. Now, what this will mean is the Giants, if they don't just send a corner and run over the top with Boston Scott, then they have to bump this call down the line. So 27 is going to have to relay this call to 24. And if 24 is not going to run with them, then 47 has to run with them. And if not him, then 23 has to run with them. Somebody has to go with Boston Scott. So we're going to see here, we'll let this play for a sec. Carson Wentz is going to bring Boston Scott in motion. 27 does not run with them. So he's going to give this call over. 24, he's just kind of watching, and you can kind of see right here, 47, Alec Ogletree, he's frantically pointing over to the left side. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go. Bad communication on the back end of this Giants defense. Nobody runs with Boston Scott. Eagles, I think, were counting on this. They probably ran this motion earlier in the game, saw this action. The lack of communication from the Giants came back to it in a critical spot. We can let this run. And you can see it's a nice, easy, well-defined completion for Carson Wentz. He puts this over into the flat, and Boston Scott's able to do the rest for a first down conversion. You saw a couple of other chunk plays there from Boston Scott on this drive. Run game, pass game. They're able to matriculate the ball down the field, get into the end zone off a Boston Scott 2-yard touchdown run to pull this game into a 1-score lead. So now down 17-10, the Eagles offense gets the ball back, and they get a couple of big plays here, namely to start with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The rookie second-round pick makes a great catch over the shoulder, and we're going to take a look exactly how that was able to come to be, because we're going to see at the bottom of the screen, he's matched up one-on-one with Sam Beal. Now, Sam Beal was a third-round pick of the Giants in the supplemental draft 2 summers ago, summer of 2018. Missed all of last season due to an injury. I watched this kid come out of Western Michigan. He's tall, he's long, he's explosive. He is what you call toolsy at the cornerback spot. He's got all of the physical traits you want for a press corner. He is in press man coverage. So J.J. Arcega-Whiteside running a fade route down the sideline. He has got to what is called hold the red line. And the red line is an imaginary line on most practice fields. It is drawn onto the turf where you're going to see just this little red line halfway between the numbers and the sideline. And the reason why the receiver has to be able to hold that red line, stay right along that edge, is because it gives the quarterback room outside of that red line to try and make a throw. So if he gets pressed too far to the sideline, he limits the amount of space that Carson Wentz has to drop this ball over the shoulder. So by making sure that he's able to maintain that space and make sure he eats up that grass, he gives Carson Wentz the ability to drop this ball into a bucket. So you're going to see J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He's got to come off the ball really good here and make sure he defeats the jam. So he's going to win with a little stutter release here. We'll let this run, and you're going to see that he just kind of attacks the technique here of Beal, who is really poor at the line of scrimmage. So after beating him at the line, he's now stacked. He's on top of him. But look, he's able to maintain that red line. So Carson Wentz, he's got all that space out here. Look at all of this real estate where he's got the ability to drop this ball in. The ball has already left Carson's hands. Now it's up to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. We can let this run to track this ball over the shoulder, deal with contact. He draws a flag and makes an outstanding catch along the sideline. Again, if he doesn't hold that flag, if he doesn't hold that red line and he doesn't show that ability to play through contact, he does not make that catch. Big time play there by the rookie receiver. All right, so very next play, Eagles get another chunk play, this time from the second-year tight end, Dallas Goedert, down the seam. Let's see how they were able to make this happen. They come out in 12 personnel again, so 1 running back, 2 tight ends, a little bit of a YY look with the 2 tight ends bunched together to the short side of the field. What they're going to do is they're going to bring Dallas Goedert in motion from right to left, and they're going to park him right in between Jason Peters and Greg Ward. So let's let that play out, and we're going to see the motion. What's big is no defender from the Giants runs with him. So that information that gives to Carson Wentz is that it's probably zone coverage and not man. So knowing that it's going to be zone coverage, the Eagles probably have an idea, okay, what kind of zone coverage are they going to be? They've studied film for the last 8 days. They have an understanding of, in this down and distance situation on 1st and 10, if it's zone coverage, probably going to be some form of single high cover 3. So that's exactly what they get. You're going to get a single high safety here. You're going to get 1 corner responsible for this deep third. You're going to get this corner responsible for this deep third. And you're going to have this one player here. He's responsible for the hook area, which is basically this middle zone right here between the corner, underneath the safety, right in that down that seam area. Now, the Eagles are running 2 routes through that zone. You've got Greg Ward on a little post, and then you've got Dallas Goedert running right down the seam. This corner can't cover both of those routes. So the Eagles are going to have the New York Giants exactly where they want them. We're going to take the snap, let this roll, and you're going to see what Carson Wentz sees when he drops back. It is exactly what the Eagles want. Again, this defender, he's going to run with the post. That's the most immediate threat to him. That's who was lined up across from him before the motion. Dallas Goedert, no one runs with him. So he is wide open down the seam because the corner, he's looking at that receiver. You got the safety, he's playing out here 45 yards off the ball. This corner is playing, he's covering nobody, and these three are all underneath. So nobody is there to cover Dallas Goedert. Clean pocket. We watch this ball now delivered. Carson Wentz puts this on the money for a big completion to get the Eagles into the red zone. Huge play here for the Eagles in this spot. Really helps set up another score. All right, well, let's get now to the game-tying touchdown on that drive to Zach Ertz. Eagles in 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. Here's your running back, Boston Scott. Here are your 3 tight ends here in Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, and Josh Perkins. And this is a route concept we have seen time and time and time again from the Eagles. It's a great way to get an isolation route for Zach Ertz to win one-on-one, whether it's against a corner, a linebacker, a safety. It does not matter. He has always shown the ability to win off this concept. It's very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to take the inside receiver. In this case, it's Dallas Goedert. You're going to run him towards the middle of the field. You're going to take the outside receiver. In this case, that is Josh Perkins. You're going to run him towards the flag. You're going to just send him towards the sideline. All that does is it just kind of parts the waves of the Red Sea, and you're going to create this huge void now where it's one-on-one. Zach Ertz, he's going to try and win on a little bit of a double move where he's going to fake like he's going towards the sideline and then just win on a quick slant route inside towards the middle of the field. Let's let this play out, and you're going to see exactly how the seas part. Again, you're going to see this route here. There's a defender gone. There's another defender gone. All of a sudden, when you're in the red zone and everything gets tighter, more crowded, a lot more traffic in there, look at all this space that this concept creates. You've got Zach Ertz lined up one-on-one. He's going to cross the defender's face, and Carson Wentz shows the ability. You're going to let this run here. Shows the faith there to know that Zach Ertz is going to win. He does exactly that. Eagles tied the game at 17 late in the fourth quarter. All right, so fast forward now a few minutes. The Eagles get the ball to start overtime. They decisively drive the ball downfield. They get into the low red zone, and they go into a very similar concept, one that has worked for them a lot in the past. And it's another one where you're going to get Zach Ertz isolated in the middle of the field off a little 3-man route concept. So Zach Ertz, he actually starts this play motioned up out wide. He's off to the far right of the formation. You can't see him in this angle. But what you're going to get here is you're going to get Dallas Goedert running to the flat. You're going to get number 81, Josh Perkins, working inside. And then you're going to get Zach Ertz. He's going to motion in here and just work to the post. Now, what happens here is that the Giants, they have another miscommunication on the back end of that defense, because when that defender sees that Zach Ertz is in motion, he doesn't let anybody know, and there's no communication in terms of how they're going to handle what is now going to be a bunch set from the Philadelphia Eagles, because once Zach Ertz settles in right here, you've got that 3-man bunch. There's no communication on how they're going to handle it, and now we'll watch. Let's let this play out, and you're going to see here comes Zach Ertz. There's no communication on how it's being handled. You've got those guys separating, just like that last play, that game-tying touchdown. Zach Ertz isolated in the middle of the field, should be with one defender, ends up being with no defenders. Walk-off win for the Eagles, and the Eagles come away 6-7. Just a giant win for this team. Was not a great start to the game on either side of the football. They're down 17-3 at halftime. They bounce back on both sides. Only 29 yards allowed defensively in the second half. Just an outstanding performance on defense. Offensively, they are able to get it together despite missing some key pieces in this game. They come away with the win against the division rival and keep their postseason hopes alive. We will break down everything we saw in this game. Yes, on the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, fueled by Gatorade, with myself and Greg Cosell. We've got Eagles game plan this week with Ike Reese, Greg, Mike Quick, John Clark. We're going to have Doug Peterson on the show as well, so it should be a great week for X's and O's content here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com. Make sure you tune in, and we will see you next week here, next Sunday, on the All-22 review, driven by AAA.